So it's like 7 o'clock Monday after all day, 7 o'clock in the evening. Captain's been working all day. I've been working all day. The captain still wants to go work. So we're going to go work. Captain's mean, y'all.
Out! There's work to be done. There's rust. There's rust. It's a never-ending battle. Come on, let's go get it. Let's go chase the rust. Having fun?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 7 o'clock at night, when Crimea River. It is dark. We are out here in the boatyard still working because, well, being in a boatyard is expensive. Being on hard is expensive, and we need to get stuff done. Trains. So what we're gonna do tonight doesn't require a lot of light and doesn't require much noise, so nobody can say anything about us working in the dark. We are going to start treating the open rust spots that exist. This is my very first time ever to use the product that we're going to use tonight. I don't know how it's going to work. This is going to be an experiment. We're going to see. I've read a lot about it. I'm part of a few online communities and heard a lot of really positive things. Talked to some people in the boatyard. This is what they recommended. So what we're going to go with is some OSPO. What it does is it converts the rusty iron into iron phosphate, and that's supposed to make it not rust anymore. We're gonna see. Hopefully a few years from now I'll be like, this stuff was great, but like I said, we're gonna see. Put my faith in this. What we're gonna do first is clean it with some denatured alcohol. That way it's a nice clean area that we're applying it to. We're going to use this fancy little super cheap paintbrush and just sort of brush it on and let it set for 24 hours. That's what the instructions say, 24 hours, and then you should be able to wipe it off with primer and paint. Alright, here we go. I am supposed to be wearing protective gloves and goggles while I'm doing this, according to the bottle. Alright, maybe I can understand why they said safety goggles. I am downwind and with every stroke of the... Is it just starting to sprinkle? Oh good, it's just water. It's not all soaking in my eyes. A little trip to Margaritaville this evening can be great.
Have some drinks, come home, and work.
I fed you.
Yeah, I know. Much better.
Should we put the tarp on for these windows? How long is it gonna rain? We should maybe check on that. Are we gonna need to turn the bilge pump on or? Splash Zone is this 2-part epoxy compound. First time we used it, it didn't go so well because there are some things that I didn't quite understand. Like, it's important to wear gloves, but we are not gonna talk about that. We've kind of figured out some things, and I wanna go ahead and share with you some tips and tricks that we've learned to make the whole process easier. First of all, gloves. Yeah, it's a real thing. It will stick to your hands. It will not wash off. It doesn't matter how much water you use. Oh my God, I've still got some stuck in my fingernails. Part A is this kind of mustard yellow color. Part B is coal black. Part B has like a really strong chemical smell to it, like hair dye. Or ammonia for you gentlemen who might not know what hair dye smells like. Or maybe you do, no judgment. Okay, so I've got my cans open, I've got my gloves on. Next thing I'm gonna do is dip my hands in some water. All that's not necessary, they just need to be damp. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple fingers, switch these around. Go ahead, come in here, scoop out what I think I need. Now you'll notice the consistency of this is kind of gooey. It's because it's a little warm. The cooler it is, obviously the harder it is, and the less gooey it is. Don't let it get too hot or it becomes really difficult to work with. Don't leave it out open in the sun because it will, again, just get really hot and gooey and slimy, and it's hard to control. So now we have these. I've scooped up this. They're about equal amounts. Actually, it's not. Let's get a little more of this. So yeah, they're about equal amounts. Now I'm going to take my hands, stick them back in the water. Oh, they're both wet. I'm going to take this black part, which is part B. I'm going to use it to sort of wrap around the yellow part, because the black part's not nearly as sticky as the yellow part. And it makes the entire process of kneading this together a little bit easier. As you can see, this is pretty warm already, and it's kind of making a mess. All right, now I'm only gonna wet the hand that I used for the yellow, and I'm only gonna use that hand to knead because that helps get all of the extra yellow off of the glove. I'm gonna stick this in some water, cool it off a little bit. It starts to stick to your gloves. Go ahead and get some more water. So I'm also going to say I prefer the latex gloves to the vinyl gloves for mixing and for using this, but we are out of the latex gloves, so vinyl it is. And what we're looking for is consistency and color. We want it to be kind of this olive green color all the way through. And that looks pretty good to me. The cool thing about Splash Zone is that it bonds to metal, it bonds to wood, it bonds to fiberglass. So where I'm about to go stick this little putty piece is, well, just come on, I'll show you. Hey, thanks for following me. So one of the things that we had planned to do during this particular haul out was replace the fiberglass roof on the pilot house. Turns out the boat needed a chin job, which is far more of a priority than a fiberglass roof. So instead, what we're going to do is go ahead and use some Splash Zone for a semi-permanent fix. This is cool because, like I said, it bonds to wood, it bonds to metal, it bonds to fiberglass, and this is pretty much a great description of what all this right here is. So we have a few a little bigger than pinholes. It's been treated with OSPO, and now take a little smudge of this. I'm gonna need more water. Which is also another trick. Keep your bucket of water right by you. I'll be right back. See? Told you I'd be right back. Gotta trust, man. Gotta trust. All right. Smashed in really good. There's not any air bubbles. Alright, I think I've talked before about not being a sculptor, so it's not the most beautiful, but that'll do. A little bit of grinding and paint. Definitely sets underwater. Yep. This was my mixing bucket. That's never coming out. That's all right though. So we have these kind of gnarly holes beneath the rub rail. We found them under blistered paint. Our original plan was to cut and replace all the metal that needed to be cut and replaced, but then we found out that there was really important metal that needed to be cut and replaced. So priorities. One day, if this doesn't hold up, what we will do is cut and replace all of this metal. But for now, we are going to industrial BandAid it.
How much time do you have to work with that stuff?
So you have about 15 minutes to work with it before it just stops being pliable and being able to, you know, spread with water. Takes a couple of hours for it to harden and 6 hours for it to cure. This stuff is actually really cool. There's a lot of things that I am digging about it. You ferret with water. So yeah, just some wet fingers, smooth it out. I also discovered that it does sand. It's abrasive resistant, but not proof. So in a few other spots that I've already patched, I was able to go in and take the sander and smooth out some of my not quite so professional fairing. So I'm actually using quite a bit of pressure to push this in, make sure that it is gonna bond really well with any of those open spots. We don't want more water to get under and start forming blisters underneath the paint, and that's a lot of what happened here. Pretty much every place that's like this, I had to grind gross paint, a whole lot of rusty metal. We got it as clean as possible, and even have some shiny metal in some spots, but unfortunately it's still wholly rusted metal.
What you got there?
Whole bunch of goodies from Westerbeek. This is a raw water pump rebuild kit. This is a raw water pump, brand new out of this box. I am going to be replacing the existing raw water pump on the engine. Then I'm going to rebuild that one as a spare and have a new one, so I know I didn't screw it up. These are the bearings for it. You know that. Pretty sure this is this. It doesn't even have a name for it. Like, this one's not labeled. If you can't figure out what this one is, you probably shouldn't be attempting. It's gonna be fine. But also that's why we got a new one. So that, yeah. But this impeller, I know this one. I've also got a few other things for engine maintenance. I'm realizing I don't think I have the gasket kit. But I've got some belts. I have a whole extra impeller kit. I'm pretty sure there's already one of these on the boat, but we're gonna have an extra one anyway. Air filter, I don't know when the last one was changed, so we're gonna take a good look at it and potentially change the air filter, probably change the air filter, keep good, fresh, clean air going in there to help keep the engine cool, help sustain the life of the engine. And then I've got just some extra oil filters because we found that it was a little challenging to find these exact size for our engine. So we just ordered some extras. Yeah, now I need to climb down in there and see what we got. There's some hoses and there's a belt attached. We're gonna take the hoses off first, and then we're going to loosen the bracket that attaches it to the engine, and we're going to slide it down to release the tension on the belt, and then we're going to take that piece off and then do it in reverse with the new piece. Gee, get the...
It's coming. It's coming. Keep tugging on it. It's coming. Oh, I see a little drip. It's dripping. Sounds like you got it. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Got all over my hand.
What you got there?
I've got a leaky water pump.
All right. Oh, now you're losing your nuts.
Oh, nuts.
Actually, that was your bolt, but
Yeah, my nuts are stuck
they are
to the
still.
plate. Give this a few seconds to work.
Looks like it's getting a little easier.
No, I'm just getting stronger.
Oh, okay.
My thumb, yeah.
And you're just gonna be staring at it, and it's gonna be backing out on its own. Gonna have that Chuck Norris stare.
That might be part of the leaky problem. Yeah, this gasket is...
Not a gasket anymore. That's not a gasket. That's part of the ball bearing.
Oh, look, the bearings are... Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
Yep, this definitely had a leak. And this is where.
Cool.
As seems to be the case, we have run into a delay. What we have is a broken Swedish pump that is not Westerbeek. Perfectly fine pump. It just doesn't happen to be the same kind of pump that our motor is. So it's Swedish. Cool. We have this other pump that is German. It is Westerbeek. Westerbeek to match our motor. Everything else works just fine, except, well, Swedes seem to have a much smaller shaft than what the Germans have. And so this pulley will not fit on our German-built shaft. That's all. I'm gonna finish getting this pulley and the water pump all situated. What had happened was we were sent a pulley for a generator, which is all fine and good, except not the generator we have, and we can't use this pulley at all. A couple of reasons. Well, primary reason is it's not the right pulley. We need a cog belt, and this is not for a cog belt. The diameter, the bore diameter, perfect for the pump that we have. Fits on the shaft. The pulley that we had before did not. The diameter was too short. So I am very, very thankful to my big brother who let me know that there are people who could fix that for us. Cool. So shout out to Rick, the machinist, who bored out the other pulley so that it actually slides onto our shaft appropriately. But the good news is that we have a pulley, we have a new water pump, it's all connected. I'm just gonna finish the job and go down and tighten it, because my big brother was feeling a little squirrely and wanted to do something, so he did. So now I'm just gonna go tighten some bolts. This is why you wanted me to finish it, because you fuggered it up. Oh. Yep. No, I'm supposed to be down here tightening stuff, but I'm actually loosening because, well, I can't tighten it effectively. I mean, I guess I could, but for ease of access in the future, I am gonna rotate this hose clamp 180 degrees because this is not in a spot that I want to have to come down and service. And quite frankly, if for some reason this thing starts leaking water, I don't want to have to be trying to stick my hand in here to fix it. That is a bad spot for this hose clamp. There's not enough space to get in there and tighten it. So I'm gonna fix it. I have successfully rotated the hose clamp to the other side. Well, that's all in the way. So now it is accessible. Things are hard enough to reach in the bilge. There's no reason to make it harder on yourself. Yeah, let me have the screwdriver. Let's get that down just a little bit. I'm not happy with the placement. But it's so much easier to access now. Look at this. Yeah.
You and you're making things easy. Easy's overrated.
I don't know where the socket went. Oh, God, it's so gross.
Did you drop the socket in the bilge?
I dropped this.
Oh.
And the socket fell off.
Ooh.
And now it's really gross. I gotta go find it. Oh. Oh, it's squishy.
Damn, Cap, we're gonna have a whole new boat after this.
Well, we're gonna have a mostly rebuilt boat after this. I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Okay. Commencing with the tightening of all the things that my brother didn't want to do. And hopefully I don't lose a socket. Or the ratchet this time. So happy there's enough clearance though. Yeah, this has got to go up quite a bit. Oh man, I'm so glad for all that yoga I did.
Yoga, yoga.
Probably what I should have done was more weightlifting though. Oh, look at me go.
See.
Huh?
Extension.
All right, fine. Here, before I lose that one again. Yep, that's not gonna work.
Too much extension.
Too much extension, not enough curve. It's alright, just let me have another wrench. One twist at a time, 1/8 of a turn at a time.
Slow and steady.
It's gonna take forever. Well, not really, because see, there's enough stuff that's down here that is inaccessible that having that hose clamp turn the other direction was just tomfoolery. There's no good reason for that at all. This is dumb. Don't we have a driver? Why? Never mind. No bueno.
And it's a lot easier to get to when the pulley's not on it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really do any good to tighten it without the pulley on it.
Nope. Finger screwing it?
Yes, because I was unscrewing it. Sometimes we just make things harder on ourselves. This is just not really wanting to work with me.
Ratcheting wrenches.
Yep. It's on my wish list. I'm just happy to have wrenches at this point. It's tight, but it's not tight enough.
That's what he said.
Done.